You know what's crazy? Most people plant bell peppers the exact same way every year and wonder why they get tiny, sad peppers while their neighbor is growing bell peppers the size of softballs. But I'm about to reveal the one thing you're missing that changes everything. And I mean everything. Stick around because what I show you at number 4 will literally double your pepper size, and that bonus secret at the end. It's so simple you'll wonder why nobody ever told you this before. Hey there, garden friend. Welcome back if you've been growing with me. And if you're new here, you just found the channel that's going to turn you into a bell pepper growing legend. I'm so glad you're here because today we're talking about the game-changing secrets that separate, pepper growers from people who grow bell peppers so big their friends don't believe they're real. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you're serious about growing the biggest, most delicious bell peppers your garden has ever seen, smash that subscribe button right now. And here's the thing. Turn on notifications because I drop videos every week that'll transform your gardening results. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Alright, let's get into it. And I'm warning you right now, some of this is going to completely flip what you thought you knew about growing peppers. Number 10. The soil secret. Nobody talks about. Here's where most people lose the game before they even start. Bell peppers need loose, fluffy soil. I'm talking soil that's almost cloud-like. And here's the kicker. If your soil is heavy, clay-like, or compacted, your peppers will never reach their giant potential. Never. Let me explain why this matters so much. Bell pepper roots need to breathe. They need to spread out easily. When soil is too dense, the roots can't explore, can't find nutrients, and can't support those massive fruits we're trying to grow. Here's exactly what you need to do. Before you plant a single pepper, mix your garden soil with compost. I'm talking a 50-50 mix. Half your existing soil, half good quality compost. This creates the perfect environment. If you're working with really heavy clay soil, add some perlite or vermiculite too. These are just fancy words for stuff that makes soil lighter and fluffier. The beautiful thing about fixing your soil is that it's not just for this season. You're building better soil for every year after. It's like investing in your garden's future. And trust me, your peppers will thank you with fruits so big you'll need 2 hands to hold them. Here's my favorite part about good soil. It retains moisture without being soggy. That's the sweet spot for peppers. They hate wet feet, but they also hate drying out completely. Loose, compost-rich soil solves both problems at once. Number 9. The transplanting trick. That changes everything. This one's going to sound weird, but stay with me. When you transplant your bell pepper seedlings, bury them deeper than they were in their starter pots. Not a little deeper, a lot deeper. Here's the deal. Peppers are like tomatoes in this way. They can grow roots along their stems. When you bury the stem up to the first set of true leaves, the plant develops a massive root system, and bigger roots equal bigger peppers. It's that simple. Most people just pop their seedling in at the same depth it was growing before, but you're not most people anymore. You're going to bury that stem and create a pepper plant with superhero roots. Wait about 2 weeks after your last frost date to transplant. Peppers hate cold soil, and I mean hate it. If the soil temperature is below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, your peppers will just sit there sulking instead of growing. Use a simple soil thermometer. They cost like $5, and they'll save you weeks of frustration. Here's a trick that makes you look like a genius. A few days before transplanting, harden off your seedlings. This just means gradually exposing them to outdoor conditions. Start with an hour outside, then 2 hours, then half a day. By day 5 or 6, they can stay out all day. This prevents transplant shock, and your peppers will take off growing instead of spending 2 weeks recovering. Number 8. The spacing mistake. Everyone makes. This is huge. People plant bell peppers way too close together because they're trying to fit more plants in their garden. I get it. I've been there. But here's what actually happens when peppers are crowded. They compete for nutrients. They compete for water. They compete for sunlight. And guess what suffers? The size of your peppers. Crowded plants produce more peppers, but they're small. We want giant peppers, so we need to give our plants room to breathe. Space your bell pepper plants 18 to 24 inches apart. That seems like a lot of space, I know. But each plant needs room to spread its branches, room for air to circulate, and room for you to actually get in there and harvest without damaging other plants. Here's the science behind it. When pepper plants have adequate spacing, each leaf gets maximum sunlight. More sunlight means more photosynthesis. More photosynthesis means more energy. and that energy goes directly into creating bigger, thicker-walled, more delicious bell peppers. The air circulation thing is important too. When plants are too close, moisture gets trapped between them. This creates the perfect environment for diseases like bacterial spot or fungal issues. Proper spacing keeps your plants healthier, and healthy plants grow giant peppers. One more thing about spacing. It makes watering and feeding so much easier. You can see the soil around each plant. You can water at the base without splashing leaves. You can add fertilizer exactly where it needs to go. This level of care is what separates good pepper growers from legendary ones. Number 7. The calcium game changer. All right, this is where we start getting into the stuff that really matters. Calcium. Most people think calcium is just for bones, but bell peppers absolutely need calcium to grow big and strong. Here's what happens without enough calcium. Your peppers develop blossom end rot. That's when the bottom of the pepper turns black and mushy. It's heartbreaking to watch a beautiful pepper grow, only to have the bottom rot out. But more than preventing rot, calcium actually helps peppers grow larger and develop thicker walls. The solution is so simple, it's almost embarrassing. Crush up eggshells and work them into the soil around your pepper plants. I save eggshells all year in a container. When I have a bunch, I crush them into a rough powder and sprinkle them around my peppers. As they break down, they release calcium slowly and naturally. You can also use calcium supplements made for plants. Products like liquid calcium work fast. I use both. Eggshells for long-term calcium supply and a liquid calcium spray if I see any signs of deficiency. Here's the insider trick. Add calcium when you first plant your peppers and then again when they start flowering. These are the critical times when they need it most. Do this, and I promise you'll see the difference in your pepper size. And listen, don't skip this step thinking your soil has enough calcium. Unless you've had your soil tested, you don't know. And even if it does have calcium, sometimes the pH of your soil locks it up and makes it unavailable to plants. Adding extra calcium ensures your peppers get what they need. Number 6. The watering method. That doubles size. Water seems simple, right? Wrong. How you water your bell peppers might be the single biggest factor in whether you get sad little peppers or absolute units that don't fit in your hand. Here's the secret. Deep, infrequent watering beats shallow, frequent watering every single time. When you water deeply, pepper roots grow down, searching for moisture. Deep roots create strong plants that can support massive fruits. When you water shallowly every day, roots stay near the surface, and surface roots create weak plants with small peppers. Let me give you the exact method I use. I water my peppers deeply twice a week during normal weather. By deeply, I mean I water until the soil is moist 6 to 8 inches down. You can check this by sticking your finger in the soil or using a moisture meter. During extreme heat, or if your peppers are in containers, you might need to water 3 times a week. But the principle stays the same. Deep watering. Let the top inch or two of soil dry out between waterings. This creates the perfect cycle that encourages root growth and prevents root rot. Here's my favorite watering hack. Use a soaker hose or drip irrigation at the base of your plants. This delivers water directly to the roots without wetting the leaves. Wet leaves invite disease. Dry leaves on well-watered plants equal healthy growth in giant peppers. The worst thing you can do is water inconsistently, like watering heavily one week and forgetting about your peppers the next week. Inconsistent watering causes stress, and stressed peppers split, drop flowers, or just grow small. Be consistent, be deep, and be patient. Hey, quick pause here. If you're learning something valuable, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It seriously helps this video reach more people who want to grow amazing bell peppers. And drop a comment telling me what color bell pepper is your favorite. I read every comment and I love connecting with you. Alright, let's keep going because the next few secrets are even more powerful. Number 5. The fertilizer formula for giants. This is where things get really interesting. Bell peppers are heavy feeders. That means they need a lot of nutrients to produce those big, thick-walled fruits we're after. But here's the catch. The wrong fertilizer will give you huge plants with tiny peppers. Let me break down the numbers on fertilizer bags. You'll see 3 numbers like 10-10-10 or 5-10-10. These represent nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen grows leaves. Phosphorus grows roots and fruits. Potassium strengthens the whole plant. For giant bell peppers, you want more phosphorus and potassium than nitrogen. Too much nitrogen creates massive, leafy plants that put all their energy into leaves instead of fruits. Look for a fertilizer ratio like 5-10-10 or even better, 5-10-15. Here's my exact feeding schedule. When I first transplant, I use a balanced fertilizer to help the plant establish. 2 weeks later, I switch to that higher phosphorus and potassium formula. I feed every 2 weeks through the growing season. But here's the insider secret that most people miss. Stop fertilizing with nitrogen once your peppers start forming. At that point, all you want is phosphorus and potassium. This tells the plant, stop making leaves, focus on making giant peppers. I use fish emulsion early in the season because it's gentle and organic. Once flowers appear, I switch to a bloom booster fertilizer. The results are dramatic. I'm talking peppers that go from normal size to almost twice as big just from this fertilizing strategy. One more critical thing about fertilizing. Always water your plants before feeding them. Fertilizer on dry soil can burn roots. Water first, feed second. This ensures nutrients get absorbed properly and your plants stay healthy. Number 4. The pruning secret that doubles production. Alright, this is the big one. This is number 4 for a reason, because this technique alone can completely transform your bell pepper harvest. And almost nobody does it because they don't know about it or they're afraid to do it. Here's the secret. Pinch off the first few flowers that appear on your pepper plants. I know. It sounds crazy. You're trying to grow peppers and I'm telling you to remove flowers. But trust me on this. When you remove those early flowers, you're telling the plant, get bigger and stronger first, then focus on fruits. The plant responds by growing more branches, more leaves, and a stronger root system. And then when you let it flower and fruit, it has the strength to produce massive peppers. I remove the first 3 to 5 flowers on every pepper plant. This usually happens when the plant is still relatively small, maybe 8 to 10 inches tall. After that, I let it do its thing. The result? Plants that produce 30 to 50% more peppers, and those peppers are significantly larger. Here's another pruning trick that works like magic. Remove the bottom leaves that touch or are close to the soil. This prevents soil-borne diseases from splashing up onto the plant. It also improves air circulation at the base of the plant. Better airflow means healthier plants, and healthier plants grow giant peppers. Later in the season, if your plant has a lot of small peppers forming late, consider removing some of them. This sounds counterintuitive, but it works. By removing the small peppers that won't have time to fully mature, you redirect that energy into the bigger peppers that are already forming. You end up with fewer but much larger peppers. The beautiful part about pruning is it's free. It costs you nothing except a minute or 2 of your time. But the payoff is enormous. I've grown peppers both ways, with pruning and without. The difference is so dramatic that I'll never skip this step again. Number 3. The support system they need. Here's something most people don't realize. Bell pepper plants with big, heavy fruits need support. When you're growing giant peppers, the weight can actually break branches or cause the whole plant to lean over or even fall. The solution is simple but crucial. Stake your pepper plants or use cages. I prefer cages because they provide support on all sides. You can use tomato cages. They work perfectly for peppers. Put your support system in place early, right when you transplant. If you wait until the plant is big and has peppers forming, you risk damaging roots or breaking branches when you try to install support. Here's what proper support does for your peppers. It keeps fruits off the ground where they could rot or get attacked by pests. It allows air to circulate around all parts of the plant. It prevents branches from breaking under the weight of those massive peppers you're growing. And honestly, supported plants just look better and are easier to care for. As your plant grows, gently guide branches through the cage openings. Sometimes I use soft plant ties to secure particularly heavy branches. Just be gentle and don't tie too tight. You want to support the plant, not strangle it. Here's a trick for windy areas. Stake the cage itself. Drive a stake into the ground next to the cage and tie them together. This prevents your whole support system from toppling over during storms. I learned this the hard way after losing several plants in a summer thunderstorm. The investment in cages or stakes is minimal, a few dollars per plant. But the protection they provide is worth so much more. Plus, you can reuse them year after year. It's one of those simple things that makes a huge difference. Number 2. The temperature sweet spot. This is critical information that separates people who get okay peppers from people who grow absolute monsters. Bell peppers are temperature sensitive. They have a sweet spot, and when you keep them in that sweet spot, magic happens. The ideal daytime temperature for bell peppers is between 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. When temperatures are in this range, peppers grow fast. flower heavily, and produce big fruits. But here's what happens outside this range. When it's too cold, below 60 degrees Fahrenheit at night, peppers stop growing. They just sit there. Flowers drop off. Fruits don't develop. When it's too hot, above 90 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, the same thing happens. Flowers drop. Fruit set stops. The plant goes into survival mode instead of production mode. So what do you do with this information? Plant at the right time. Wait until nighttime temperatures are consistently above 60 degrees Fahrenheit. In most areas, this means late spring, usually May or even early June, depending on where you live. If you're in a hot climate where summers get brutal, use shade cloth during the hottest part of the day. A simple 30 to 40% shade cloth over your peppers during peak heat can keep them in that productive temperature range. Here's my favorite temperature trick. Mulch around your pepper plants. A 2 to 3 inch layer of straw or wood chips keeps soil temperature more stable. It stays cooler in extreme heat and warmer during cool nights. This simple step can extend your pepper growing season by weeks. Container growers have an advantage here. You can move your peppers. Too hot? Move them to a shadier spot. Too cold? Move them closer to a warm wall or bring them inside temporarily. This flexibility is huge for maintaining that perfect temperature range. Watch your plants for a temperature stress. If leaves start to curl or flowers drop, check your temperatures. You might need to adjust your growing strategy. The plants are telling you what they need. Listen to them. Number 1. The secret ingredient that makes peppers explode in size. All right, here we are. Number 1. This is the secret that ties everything together. This is what you absolutely must never plant bell peppers without. Ready for it? Phosphorus. But not just any phosphorus. Bone meal. Here's why this is number 1. Bone meal is pure phosphorus and calcium in one organic package. Remember earlier when I talked about how phosphorus grows roots and fruits? And calcium prevents blossom and rot and helps peppers grow large? Bone meal does both. When you plant your peppers, mix bone meal directly into the planting hole. I use about a quarter cup per plant. Mix thoroughly with the soil. This creates a phosphorus and calcium reserve right where the roots need it most. But here's the part that makes this truly number 1. Bone meal releases slowly over the entire growing season. You're not just feeding your plant for a week or two. You're setting up a long-term nutrient supply that supports pepper growth from transplant all the way through harvest. The results are absolutely dramatic. Plants with bone meal at planting produce noticeably larger peppers. We're talking 30 to 40% size increase compared to plants without it. The walls are thicker. The colors are more vibrant. The flavors are better. I've done side-by-side comparisons in my own garden. Same variety of pepper. Same everything except bone meal. The difference is shocking. The bone meal plants were bigger, healthier, more productive, and grew peppers that were genuinely giant. Here's the best part about bone meal. It's cheap. A bag costs maybe $10 to $15 and will last you multiple seasons. The return on investment is insane when you consider how much bigger and better your peppers become. You can also side dress with bone meal during the growing season. This means sprinkling a tablespoon or two around the base of each plant about halfway through the season, then watering it in. This gives a mid-season boost right when your plants are setting the most fruit. Some people ask if they can use other phosphorus sources. Sure, you can use rock phosphate or other amendments. But bone meal is special because it's organic, it has that calcium, and it's been used by gardeners for generations with proven results. The smell might be a bit strong when you first open the bag. That's normal. It's just processed bones. Mix it into the soil and the smell disappears quickly. Your peppers won't smell or taste different. They'll just grow bigger and better. The bonus secret that multiplies your success. All right, I promised you a bonus, and this one's going to blow your mind because it's so simple, yet so powerful that it affects everything we've talked about. Mulch. Specifically, organic mulch around your pepper plants. Put down 2 to 3 inches of straw, shredded leaves, or wood chips around each pepper plant. Leave a small gap right at the stems so moisture doesn't accumulate against the plant itself. But cover all the rest of the soil. Here's what this does. First, it regulates soil temperature. Peppers hate temperature swings. Mulch keeps soil cooler during hot days and warmer during cool nights. Second, it retains moisture. This means you water less frequently and your peppers never experience drought stress. Third, it suppresses weeds. Weeds compete with your peppers for nutrients and water. Mulch eliminates this competition, but there's more. Organic mulch slowly breaks down and adds nutrients to the soil. It improves soil structure over time. It prevents soil from splashing onto lower leaves during rain or watering, which reduces disease. It makes your garden look professionally maintained. I started mulching my peppers 3 years ago, and I will never go back. The difference in plant health, pepper size, and overall productivity is too significant to ignore. And it costs almost nothing. You can use grass clippings from your lawn, shredded leaves from fall cleanup, or straw from a feed store. If you have access to wood chips, many tree service companies will give them to you free because they need to get rid of them anyway. The timing matters. Put down your mulch after the soil has warmed up in late spring. If you mulch too early, you trap cold in the soil and slow down your pepper growth. Wait until nighttime temperatures are consistently warm, then mulch heavily. As the mulch breaks down during the season, add more. You want to maintain that 2 to 3 inch layer. This continuous organic matter creates the healthiest soil your peppers have ever grown in. Putting it all together. So there you have it. The 10 secrets you absolutely must know, plus that bonus mulching tip to grow giant bell peppers that make your neighbors jealous. Let's recap real quick. Loose, fluffy soil mixed with compost, deep transplanting to create massive root systems, proper spacing for maximum growth and air circulation, calcium from eggshells or supplements to prevent rot and increase size, deep, infrequent watering to build strong roots, the right fertilizer formula with more phosphorus and potassium, pruning early flowers to build plant strength, support systems to handle heavy fruits, maintaining that perfect temperature range, and the #1 secret, bone meal for explosive growth and giant peppers, plus organic mulch to tie it all together. If you do even half of these things, you'll see a massive improvement in your bell pepper harvest. If you do all of them, you'll be growing bell peppers so big and beautiful that people will think you're using some kind of secret magic. The beautiful thing is none of this is complicated. It's not expensive. You don't need fancy equipment or a degree in horticulture. You just need to understand what bell peppers need and give it to them consistently. Start with the bone meal. That's your foundation. Add in the soil preparation and proper spacing. Get those basics right and you're already 70% of the way to giant peppers. Then layer in the other techniques as you get comfortable. Remember, gardening is a learning process. Your first season might not be perfect, and that's okay. Each season you'll get better, your soil will improve, and your peppers will get bigger and more abundant. That's the beauty of growing your own food. Every season builds on the last. If this video helped you, if you learned something valuable, do me a huge favor. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell so you catch every video I drop. I'm creating content every week to help you become the best gardener you can be. Drop a comment below telling me which of these secrets surprised you most. Or tell me about your biggest bell pepper growing challenge. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. Your questions and experiences help me create better content for everyone. And hey, share this video with a gardening friend. Someone in your life is struggling to grow decent bell peppers right now. This video could be the game changer they need. Sharing is caring, and the gardening community is all about helping each other succeed. Thanks for spending this time with me today, garden friend. I'm genuinely excited for your pepper growing season. I'm excited for you to try these techniques and see the results for yourself. There's something magical about biting into a bell pepper you grew yourself, especially when it's the biggest, most perfect pepper you've ever seen. Now get out there and grow some giant bell peppers. Your garden is waiting, and those peppers aren't going to grow themselves. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, and keep making your garden amazing. Happy gardening!